Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Automation Empire. My name is Arctic Wolf, and this is Season 2, Episode 14. At the end of our last episode, we had oil going to our research base here. Since the end of last episode, I've separated the minecart track that's going to the train station into two. One that drops off the oil at the science and in a storage bin for one to come pick up anything left over to take it to the train station. It was just taking way too long to get anything going out here. I was backing up on both barrels here. So I added another 6 ovens and separated the mine tracks, and that fixed it. Now we're just waiting for the last of our research to get done, and I noticed something, and I'm not sure if this is new or if this has always been this way and I just never paid attention to it. But you see this science labs right here, these research labs, they're not emitting this little green mist like the rest of these are. That's because these ones are full. They're 100% full. They're done. This one's not. It's got 5 left. And when this gets to 60, this will start emitting this green mist around where these windows are. I don't know if that's a new thing or if that's always been that way and I'm just now picking up on it, but that's a visual cue to let you know that, hey, these things are done and ready to be claimed. Which I like it. It's cool. I've never noticed it before, so there. If you've never noticed it before, I hope I showed you something you've been missing. But we're just waiting for these last ones to fill up, and then we're going to claim all of this. Judging by this one here, we've got 60 in there, and it's going to sell for 127,070 of the research points. And we have 11 of those. So we can roughly estimate that we're going to be getting about 1.3 million research points, which will put us just over that 2 million mark that we need to be at, which is going to be fantastic. But I'm going to let this run. When these 3 are done, we'll come back and we'll claim it and we'll get on to working on today's project. What we're going to be doing today, if you look here, we have the oil necessary and we'll have the research points necessary to complete farming after this is done. And then we will be going for rocketry, which means we need to be setting up for capacitors and ethanol to go into the science. So we're going to unlock farming, we're going to get the red grain going, and we're going to get the capacitors going. We have 6 iron nodes to grab. There's 3 right there and 3 right here, and we got plenty of extra leftover gold back there. So we're going to make a building probably back over this way, because we'll be using these 3 iron. We'll be running the iron from down here over that way. We'll have a building here that'll be making the capacitors, and we'll be sending the capacitors to the research. And then back over here where there's nothing else but this iron, so we're going to ship that iron over there. We can set our farming area up right here with our greenhouses and our water supply, and then we'll run water to everything, and that'll increase the output of all of our currently existing infrastructure by, well, it depends on what it is, really. If you look here, if we select the oil derrick and it says water connected, no, and then you read it, it says connecting water enables fracking. If fracking increases extraction speed by 30%. So instead of getting one per 15 seconds, we'll get one every 10 seconds for all 6 of our oil extractors. Blah, words today. And then if you look at like the coal, all right, it's the same thing. Enables fracking. Fracking increases extraction speed by 30%. So instead of getting 1 per 10, we'll get 1 per 7. Iron, same deal, 1 per 8. And the gold is the same thing. We'll be getting 1 per 10. It takes about 3 seconds-ish off of your mining speed. Let's check on the research. It should be close to done. Looks like they're all done. Alright. Alright, so we have 704. Go ahead and put your guesses down in the comments. How much are we going to have? 128,940 times 11. It increased some. They're different. I don't know why the numbers are different on them. I don't get that. Maybe the first one, I know what it was. If we look here, the first ones we researched had the percentage boost. And then after we hit our marker for that being valid, it dropped off. So the ones that finished later are less than the ones that finished first. That's interesting. So now it's a crapshoot. I have no idea how much I'm going to get. Let's just get it. Okay, and we're not going to destroy this or move it, but we are going to change where it's getting its resources from and what resources it's getting. So since all these bins are connected all the way around, they're all considered one bin. So when I clicked on that and clicked the destroyed contents, it destroyed everything in all of them. So now we should get, I tried to do that before any of them got their oil, but they all got one. That's fine. It'll be fine. If we look here now, we should be well over the 200 mark to be able to unlock our water or our farming. And up next is we need the ethanol and the capacitors. So let's start with the water. Let's put the water down over here. Now, as far as I know, that doesn't need power. It just doesn't. And then from there, we'll run that out. Oh, and point it that way, like that. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to get the farming stuff down. And this island right here really, really does look good for the capacitors, but it's got coal on it. So I have to worry about these iron. So this is probably not a good spot for this. Yeah, get rid of that. Zoom in so I can click on it. There we go. Sometimes when you hold the button down, it takes a while for it to register that it's holding the button down, so you want to delete things. Like, I'm still holding it. It just, I don't know why. But we'll probably have to run that this way. We'll run the iron. Nope, wrong button. Down and around. Over this way. There's no nodes between the iron on this side of this, so we could run our mine carts from there over to a storage bin in this general region here, run the mine carts from this one over to that same storage bin, and then put our capacitors building right here, and then we can bring the gold in from this side over there. I don't know what we're going to use this oil and this coal for yet, or maybe even that coal. Like, I don't know if we're going to need to use it, because once we get all this gold fuel converted into making ethanol, I think that's the recipe, isn't it? Let's check our recipes. No, it's just oil. Oh, then what's the gold fuel for? Oh, that, yeah, okay, so the gold fuel is used in the mega fuel. So we need the oil and the grain to make the ethanol. And the capacitors, we're only making a small number of them, and only for the research. We're not going to be selling any capacitors. Because you just cook them, and then they're ionized, but still the mega fuel is what we want. So we're just gonna make enough of this to do the research on it. These other ones we're making already for mega fuel. So alright, I'm gonna get into this. We'll get this going, and I'll come back after the time lapse and explain how it works. Okay, here we are. This was a big project, but we've got it done. We have our red grain being made. You have to take the red grass, because that's what's in this bucket here. It contains red grass. You have to cook it to get the red grain. Okay. Then you have to mix it with oil to get your ethanol. So that's what this setup here is doing. We're taking the oil, instead of sending the oil to the train station, we redirected that to here. We mix it with the red grain and then send it back out on the same line. We just cut the line and split it in two. So now we have a delivery to over here and sending it out. When it came to the capacitors, this was fairly complicated because I went in here to this gold building. Well, yeah, this thing is taking every scrap of gold it gets and smelting it into gold and sending it out. I cannot interrupt the process here because there's nowhere to buffer. Both of the buffers are empty, which means it's running at as fast as it possibly can. It can probably handle more. So I had to come down here where the gold is actually getting accumulated and tie in there. So this track is really, really, really long. So we're running from storage bin to storage bin with it. And then when this storage bin gets anything in it, this minecart track will run it into the building. But this one's full because this is full and not sending any out. So we're only interested in this until the research is done with the capacitors. Once that's done, this comes out. Just so we're clear on that. This is going to be mega fuel. We'll redirect the ethanol over there and make mega fuel with it. But for now, we're researching the capacitors. They're coming down into right here and feeding into the research bay. I could possibly get some of the ethanol. I probably should get some of the ethanol going to the research as well. It would be a good idea, but I've run out of time for today. So that's going to have to wait till next time. But we got a lot done today. We got our grain going. We got capacitors going. We got ethanol going. And our profits, we're still looking at 4.1 million in the bank, so we're good there. But that's it. You guys have a wonderful day. Thank you for stopping by. Don't forget to like and sub before you go, and we'll catch you next time. Arctic Wolf out.